Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope everybody's day is going great. Today we got a really interesting video. Is Overwatch League dying? At least that's what Mark Cuban thinks. We're going to cover that whole entire situation, as well as having Noah Winston's response. And then at the end of it, I will give my opinion as well. After that, we will cover the games a little bit. First, we had the London Spitfire taking on San Francisco Shock. Probably the only game notable to even mention from yesterday, but still, LA Gladiators. They took out the Florida Mayhem. They're sitting at 4-0 at this stage, along with the Philadelphia Fusion, who took out the Shanghai Dragons. These two teams will have an epic clash soon, and it's going to mean a lot for the playoff run. And if you guys are new around here, do not forget, drop a like on the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I upload content like this every single day, and also check out my Fortnite channel. I'll leave the link down below. Alright, so starting off with this Mark Cuban situation, he was on some podium doing some type of interview. I have no idea what this is, but he basically said the Overwatch League is donezo, it's dead. Let's go ahead and take a look at that clip. Oh, and real quick, if you don't know who Mark Cuban is, he is the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, an NBA team. The guy is filthy rich, billionaire. He's also on Shark Tank. Everyone knows who he is, so I'd be surprised if some of you guys don't. He's also really heavily invested in esports. He's been involved with League of Legends in the past. Right now, he's heavily invested into the NBA 2K League. So yeah, he definitely has a strong opinion on this stuff.
Now every major team's trying to start a Fortnite team, and they're all, you know.
But how long is Fortnite going to be popular? That's one of the big questions.
Well, I mean, it's got a good head start, and it's not even so much how long is Fortnite going to be popular. It's what's happening to other games, particularly in the United States, since that's where you guys are based. Yeah. I think Overwatch is going. You know, what happens to OWL?
I'm glad nobody from Blizzard's sitting on this panel right now.
I know the audio's off sync. That's not my fault, guys. It was the Twitch stream. Whatever the hell they were doing was wrong. But anyways, he pretty much called Overwatch League donezo there, saying that Fortnite is taking over. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, Fortnite is taking over, and they are definitely taking viewership away from Overwatch, and it's only just beginning for Fortnite. $100 million, that is probably the biggest esports announcement or just hype ever. It's just incredible. The amount of buzz is insane. Like, sure, OWL has had, you know, some celebrities show up to the games, but literally major celebrities are playing Fortnite, streaming it, getting so many young kids influenced by this game. It's absolutely ridiculous. Ninja literally averages more viewers than the Overwatch League does. Insane for an individual player. Alright, I seriously gotta stop saying insane and literally. I've said them like 20 times. So there's definitely some worries for the Overwatch League. I mean, $3.5 million, compare that to $100 million, it makes us look really small, and there's something that definitely needs to be done. Although I don't agree and say, you know, Overwatch League is donezo, it's definitely probably in danger. So it's definitely Overwatch League's turn to make a big announcement, say for the next season, up the prize pool, or just something that will catch viewers' eyes. But this isn't over, there's more to it. Slasher on Twitter said some stuff, and then Mark Cuban responded, as well as Noah Winston, which is the Immortals owner and the Overwatch League LA Valiant owner. Slasher said this on Twitter: Overwatch League isn't in any real trouble considering Blizzard's success in selling sponsorships and franchising expansions, but Fortnite out of all games is definitely causing a major hit to Overwatch. With potential to harm Overwatch League, many aspiring esports players are competing in Fortnite over Overwatch, which is 100% true. Even a content creator like myself is interested in going and doing Fortnite content. I'm not going to do it instead of Overwatch content. I'm just going to do them both because Fortnite's a fun game. It's really exciting, especially with all the hype it's created. I want to get involved. Mark Cuban responded to this. He said, if the teams suffer as a result of loss of viewers and attendees, then the league will suffer. Overwatch League is going to need significant revenue sharing to survive if Fortnite continues to grow, which I agree, it makes sense. Then Noah Winston responded and said this: L viewership and monetization has not yet been significantly impacted by Fortnite. We'll see what happens, but as someone with a view from the inside, I'm still quite happy. Our data suggests that gaming and esports viewership is less of a zero-sum game than many expect. Mark Cuban responded, I'm not saying it's a zero-sum game. Of course, overall gaming can grow, but I am certain there are still just 24 hours in a day, and the time spent playing Fortnite has to come from somewhere. And more importantly, I think the allocation of consumer dollars moves quickly. Noah responded, absolutely. Our research indicates that the time is pulling from consumption of other casual games and non-gaming media rather than the dedicated communities that watch Overwatch League or LCS. Assertion that esports content consumption habits are discrete from general gaming habits. Now, I do have a response to this. Yeah, right now, they're not being taken from our esports, but once Fortnite esports and this $100 million prize pool crap starts up, we're going to lose viewers to that for sure. Mark Cuban responded, the operative words are dedicated to community. Maybe the right way to look at it is that Fortnite usage is cannibalizing Overwatch League and other games' growth opportunities. Players that might have gone into the Overwatch League will stay connected to Fortnite. Mark definitely makes valid points here. So does Noah. Noah responded, I'm more in an agreement with that, but we've seen a surprising amount of Overwatch League fan growth from non-core gamers in Southern California. I think the local model has the opportunity to break a lot of the conventions of where esports growth comes from. So that was pretty much the entire conversation between Mark and Noah. As I said, I do agree with both of them on certain points. Overwatch League has had major success, definitely, and the growth of fans and how connected the fans are with the teams in California is insane. I've seen it firsthand. As for Mark Cuban, he's definitely right. Fortnite is eating up every single game's numbers, and once the actual esports tournaments start for Fortnite, I know I'll be watching, and I'm sure with all the Overwatch League coverage and all the Fortnite coverage, it'll be hard to keep up with both. So some viewers are going to choose one or the other, and trust me, a lot of them will choose Fortnite. I mean, if you're just a viewer and you go to Twitch and you see a Fortnite tournament featuring Ninja, Myth, all the big names, and it has over 1 million viewers on Twitch, and then you see the Overwatch League with 70k, so Shanghai Dragons going up against Philadelphia Fusion, which one are you going to watch? I know which one I'm going to watch, and no offense to Overwatch League, but it's just not as exciting as a $1 million viewer tournament with millions of dollars of prize pool with the best players in the world. And if that is more appealing to me, a guy who covers Overwatch League for a living, who is an ex-pro player, I love Overwatch in the Overwatch League. And then this Fortnite tournament is more appealing to me than the Overwatch League. That shows any random viewer that might be making a decision who is invested in both scenes is definitely going to choose Fortnite. Every single time, there's no doubt about it. So I can really start to see where Mark Cuban is talking about these problems. I wouldn't say it's a situation now. Noah's right about the casual gamer thing. They're not involved with the Overwatch League. But once the esports starts up, we are going to lose viewers. People who love both games are going to have to make decisions whether they watch the Overwatch League or whether they watch Fortnite, because the coverage on both of them will be insane, and nobody's got time to watch them both, even somebody like me who does it for a living. So it's definitely worrisome. Blizzard is going to need to make some big announcements for Season 2, big changes, big prize pools, more teams, huge expansions, relocation, all that stuff needs to start coming out ASAP if they want to keep up with Fortnite. This also isn't it though. Let's go ahead and roll this clip from Thorin's talk show. He had Noah Winston on, and Noah Winston, he had a really good talk about Overwatch League and how successful it's been, where it looks like it's going. If you want to watch the full entire video, I will link it down below, but I'm going to go ahead and play a minute or so of it here.
So look, you're 100% right. Like our chairman, Peter Levin, says that we're in the first inning of the 9-inning game. He's 100% correct. There's many more trials and tribulations and challenges up ahead to make the Overwatch League a kind of permanent generational success. The most significant of which is the move to local markets. Like that's going to be a massive challenge that everyone needs to be really on their game to execute on well. Think the analogy I would use is like a hurdle race, right? Where like you see 10 hurdles and then the runners have to get over all of them, and like the runner on the first one clears it by like 5 feet, right? Like that's probably a good sign that things are going well, but that is not a guarantee that they're going to be doing as well later on into the race. Sure. So from my perspective, Blizzard has absolutely over-delivered on viewership, on fan engagement, on local fan affinity, on commercialization, on sponsorship. Pretty much every metric that they could deliver on in Season 1 has been delivered on and over-delivered on. That's a great signal for the future of the league. Does that guarantee success for the future of the league? Absolutely not. There is still risk involved. There are still things that teams need to execute well on in their home markets, and nobody should get complacent just because Season 1 is great, right? But at the same time, Season 1 is great. Like, it's easy to forget how young this league is. This league is less than 6 months old, and they have achieved something this big this quickly. That gives me a lot of confidence in what they can achieve over a longer period of time. It's certainly not a guarantee, but it gives me confidence that the likelihood is higher than not that it will be successful.
So even with everything I've said and knowing that Overwatch League could be in danger, it is very reassuring hearing somebody like Noah Winston, a guy who's very level-headed and owns a spot in the Overwatch League, that he is so confident it will succeed, especially come relocation time. So the future is still bright for the Overwatch League. It's just that Fortnite is really going to be taking over, and you know, it's hurting the growth of the Overwatch League. If there was no Fortnite, Overwatch League would be the game taken over, in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and move on and talk briefly about the London Spitfire and San Francisco Shock match. So as I mentioned earlier, this set was pretty much the only exciting one from yesterday. The other two games were stomps. London Spitfire, they're looking to make their comeback in the league, secure their playoff spot, and I think they did just that. Birdring played great. Finally, flashes from stage 1 and 2. Guy looked like an animal. Prophet, nothing new from him. The guy's a god. Gesture, they played great, especially in those first two maps. Blizzard World, they dominated. They got the first hold off. Moving on to Hanamura, this one somewhat close, not really though. London Spitfire, they got the hold off on the second point. Then we moved over to Oasis. This map was very exciting, really close. I thought London Spitfire had it on that last round, but San Francisco Shock down 0-99. They reverse swept the round and took it. Architect popping off on the Widowmaker as well as Birdring. Really amazing duel in this matchup. We then moved on to Dorado. San Francisco Shock, they took it in overtime. Another close map, and then we moved on to that fifth map, Nepal. And I'll be honest, I was a little worried for the London Spitfire, knowing their win record on Game 5s, Nepal, Control overall. They're just not the best. But they were able to clutch it out. They were the better team on Nepal. And overall in this match, they were definitely the better team. So it's exciting seeing them come back. Hopefully they can make a run for it and compete with the New York Excelsior come deep playoffs. Because honestly, like, if London Spitfire doesn't get it together, I don't know if any team is going to be able to touch the New York Excelsior. And I just want an epic finals. I don't want to go all the way to New York and see a game that just isn't close at all between, you know, maybe Philly and New York, whoever it is. I just want it to be close. And London's the only team who's been able to contest them. We saw that in stage 1. Hopefully they can get back to their prime. As for the San Francisco Shock, you know, it's been a decent run for them. They've been improving near the end of the season. It definitely seems like come season 2, they'll be one of the better teams. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe if you enjoy my content, go check out my Fortnite channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.